actual party, the party itself was definitely an event. Sing it loud. The music was popping. Exhibit. The album itself was just fire. It was fire.
Now, y'all remember when I said this, right?
They got a Whataburger out there in Atlanta?
Right across the street from my house. They just built it. They just built 2 out here. Jack in the Box is coming out here too.
They need to put an In-N-Out next to that Whataburger so they can show them what a burger is really all about.
I'm just saying.
Now look at this. On National Burger Day, In-N-Out Burger is considered the top burger chain in America based on Yelp reviews. So it's not just me. America has spoken and says so. So I'm just saying.
I'm going to tell you my In-N-Out keeps it simple. You know what you're going to get every time.
Now look at that. In-N-Out #1. Whataburger 14. So it's not just me. America has spoken and says so.
But let me circle it back real quick. No. Whataburger will not shut down In-N-Out. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Is Tupac
demand that I give a certain amount? How are you going to demand that? That's crazy.
Say that you give more jobs outside of the Breakfast Club now without mentioning that you get them because the Breakfast Club is
You wasted a half a year in the campaign. And so where she, again, matter of fact, check 1 2. Yeah, Mike, check 1 2 1 2. It's that third degree coming with the DY3 crew. Let's rock it 3 cent. I said we're decent, and if you don't know, yes, boy, it's heaven sent. And it's really evident that we're relevant to the culture. Look what we're about to go and bring to you. I'm about to show you something new on your TV screen. If you don't like it, you know what you can think. I mean, I really don't care. Like I said, the boy with the waves in his hair. Young, smooth, debonair, and I just mob like a boss. See that I got my dubs tossed. Yeah, that B Quest said he's standing on business. I said raise your hand if we really need a witness. We're about to end this speculation, and we give the middle finger to those that be hating. Wait in the background, hear that true sound. Third degrees about to come through and snatch your crown. I'm the king of the West if I must profess. No, that's Kendrick. I think that he's the best. But I digress from my point. I'm about to go ahead and keep it on if you really don't know. This is the show, and I'm quick to blow. About to take it up from Sacramento down to Dago, where we lay low, stacking them pesos. If you don't know, yes, yo, we about to break those through. Sing it on. You know we about to go and be it on, sing it on. This is 30 getting peed on. Like R. Kelly, I rub it on your belly. Nah, that's nothing you can tell me. I know you smell me. That be the expensive cologne that I wear. Let's go ahead and start it this right there. Hey, I'm really gonna need the platform to get it together. Every time I'm on the roll, then it's like, you know, the virtual background when it go out. You know what I'm saying? You get me doing that. It's not sexy. It's not sexy. But for right now, I'll just do it like this. How are you, Quez?
Hey, man, I'm chilling, big dog. How you feeling? How you doing?
Man, I'm maintaining, doing my thing. And you know what I'm saying? The devil's always trying to get us.
Hey, man, you know what I mean? To let you know you're doing something.
Something right.
Yeah, he don't bother people who ain't moving.
Man, that is the truth. That is the truth, man. How's your week been?
Man, it's been beautiful, man. I can't complain. You know, the grind is still alive. So we out here getting it. That's
all we can do. You know what I'm saying?
What about you, sir?
Well, besides this ratchetness going on, it's been a long week. You know what I mean? I've been meaning to make videos and drop this, but your boy's been on the move. I've been trying to catch up on sleep. You know what I'm saying? And as of today, I'm actually well rested. Yo, truthfully, no, man. Me and Jess, we got back into the gym. And I told my doctor gave me a challenge. He said 6 months, just be consistent with it because I might need surgery, actually. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we put on a challenge. Just be consistent, just stay at it. So I got back into the gym. I'm lifting what I could, you know what I'm saying? More cardio than anything. But, you know, that first couple of days when you get back in there, you tired as hell.
Hey, I'm already knowing. But that's good stuff, man. I commend you on starting. That's always the hardest part.
It's restarting. You know, I used to be in morning time gym, afternoon gym, go to work. Before I go to work, gym. You know what I'm saying? Go do some cardio at work, then I hit the gym. But, you know, I've been slacking ever since the accident. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, understandable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
understandable, bro. But your job, you got your lady with you, so that's always a beautiful thing, too. You know what I mean? Have that support in the home. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, Denisha be trying to get me to go, but she go before Jesus get up. You know,
that used to be me, man.
Yeah, I can't do it. I wake up at 5 every morning. She already be gone.
Early morning.
Yeah, 4 in the morning. Boy,
yeah. Thank you. In order for me to be at the gym at 5, I'd have to wake up at like 4:30 just to get there at 5. You know what I mean? Get back. I had to get back, shower up so I can get my day started and be out the house and, you know, be where I got to be at 7.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's a lot.
It is. Now, if I live right near the gym, oh shit, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt.
Yeah, no, I'm cool. I work hard enough at work. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it, man. I feel it.
I do need to get it together, though. No lie.
You good, man. You look good, bro. And the Queen's been killing it, man. She posted up a pic, and I'm like, man, look at the Queen. She did her transformation. I only see her one way, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like her healthy lifestyle, she shed that quick.
Oh yeah, man. She getting it in. That's what I'm saying. She fully motivated. It's no better motivation than self-motivation, man. People can tell you what to do, people can advise you, people can try to scare you. But until you're ready to do something, man, you ain't gonna give it your all. So once you find your reason and your why to be out there, man, it makes a ton of difference. So, you know what I mean? It's good. She's motivated herself and she's consistent and she dedicated to it. And that's why the changes are happening. You know, I ain't complaining. You know what I mean? Yes. You know what I mean?
No, you ain't, fam. No, you ain't.
Yes, sir. Yes, Lord.
Well, since my thing is acting ratchet right now, you know, what better way to segue into some ratchet news? So we about to play this ratchet news, and then I will be back. You will see me back on this screen. Hopefully, it ain't funking up the rest of this show. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get to some ratchet news.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Third Degree. We're back with more ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So let's go. Let's kick this off. Smokey Robinson files $500 million counter lawsuit against former housekeepers over sexual assault claims. Man, this is crazy. Well, moving on. As I reported on the show last week, Nico McKnight, estranged son of Brian McKnight, reportedly died of cancer. Like I said, I knew him. R.I.P. to him. You know, I didn't know him. Actually, I met him, but he was a real cool dude. So, moving on. Offset is demanding that Cardi B pay spousal support in new divorce case filing. This is crazy, right? As the drama unfolds. Moving on. After 150 years after being severed for research, the skulls of 19 Black Americans returned to New Orleans for memorial. This is crazy, the stuff that we went through as a people, you know what I mean? But moving on. Complex Magazine released their list of top 50 LA rappers, and you know, number 1 is Kendrick, 2 Snoop Dogg, 3 is Ice Cube, 4 is Dr. Dre, 5 is Tyler the Creator, 6 is DJ Quick, 7 is Ice-T, 8 is Be Real, 9 is Eazy-E, and 10 is Nipsey Hussle. But you know, we're gonna talk more about this as we go on in the show, because The Game saw the list and he was not feeling it, especially with him still being number 11, so he created his own list. So we're going to talk about his list during the show. Moving on. A Final Destination style overpass collapse caught on camera. Man, if these are not the end times, ever since this Final Destination came out, all these catastrophes been happening, movie theaters, bridges, and all this other stuff. Maybe we should just leave that movie alone, huh? Hey, moving on. Man bought a TV off Facebook Market and got scammed for a Popeye's menu TV. Man, this is crazy, right? Ratchet news at its finest. Moving on. Ryan Coogler confirms there are no plans for a Sinner sequel. Kind of crazy, right? But maybe there might be room for a prequel or something. That movie was just too dope. As a matter of fact, it is out now on digital streaming platforms. So make sure you go out and buy support. Moving on. Instagram user said a relationship with no sex is also okay. You know, Shay Jr., son of Ice Cube, said, not in my program, gotta hit the transfer portal. I feel him on that one, right? Moving on. Mom is catching flack for dressing like this at a kid's birthday party. Moms out there, would you be okay dressing like this? And fathers, would you be okay with your baby moms or your wife dressed like this? We might talk about this later on in the show. Moving on. Outfielder Andrew Toles, who has schizophrenia, hasn't played since 2018, but the LA Dodgers have just re-signed him, allowing him to keep his health insurance for mental health treatment. You know, shout out to the Dodgers. That's why I love the Dodgers, all right? And salute to him, sending him nothing but positive energy. Moving on. Going back to Brian McKnight, it's been reported that he made no effort to reunite with his son before his passing, and you know, he called out the son's mom and his brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with Brian, but we're gonna send him some positive energy so he can get right with himself and maybe find some healing within himself. That's just nothing but just bitterness and hurt. But moving on. Tulsa's first black mayor announces $155 million reparations plan to repair impact of 1921 race massacre. But my homie Quez pointed out there is a huge twist to this, and we shall point that out in the show. Moving on. Nipsey's Marathon Burger doubles up with a new Venice spot, so let's go out and go support and make that large and popping too. Let's make sure that they're the best chain of burgers, like In-N-Out, and make them all across the country, yeah? Moving on. R&B and neo-soul singer Alex Isley is a perfect example of talent being genetic. I guess she's an offspring of the Isleys, and so, hey, she's keeping her legacy going with her vocals, and she's pretty dope too, so moving on. The Clips forced to leave Def Jam after label tried to censor Kendrick Lamar verse on new album. I guess they didn't want to face a lawsuit like Universal, right? Moving on. Oh, by the way, that new Clips, hard as hell. Moving on. The Wire actor Trey Chaney says his son is out of ICU after being thrown 300 feet in tornado. Man, sending prayers to them. All right, moving on. It's being reported that men in their 40s commonly date women between the ages of 27 and 35. And we might talk about this on the show. This is an interesting study, right? Moving on. It's being said that One of Them Days sequel with Keke Palmer and SZA is in the works. Hey, that was a pretty cool movie. I can't wait. Part 2 might be dope. Moving on. They're saying that Rihanna's net worth allegedly falls $500 million, but she's still balling though, and she got babies. But I think she needs to get back out, man. You know, put out some more albums, you know what I'm saying, and a tour. We're still waiting on that reggae album, Riri. Let's get to getting. All right, moving on. R&B singer Khalees owns 150 acres of land in Kenya that borders a volcano and hosts a farm in giraffes. Man, she is dope. She got one out here in Temecula too. So, you know, she's doing her thing. Moving on. Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Steelers. I don't know if that was a good move on the Steelers' part, but we'll see what he got left in the tank, right? All right, moving on. Elon Musk says Trump is in the Epstein files as a public feud escalates. They are not feeling each other, right? They're really going at it. And this is pure comedy. We might talk about this on the side show. Moving on. Wait. Elon said, without me, Trump would have lost the election, Dems would have controlled the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. Funny how he said this about the Ukrainian president, right? Moving on. Judge threatens to remove Diddy from courtroom after nodding vigorously at jurors. He was making them threats. It's turning out that Puffy just might be what people thought Suge Knight was. He might be the actual boogeyman. This dude is really on one, right? I think he's going away for a while. But moving on. LA immigration raids, multiple people taken into custody by federal agents is getting crazy. Lil Wayne drops the Carter 6 and people are saying it is trash. I heard it, you know, it started out good, then just kind of just went downhill. But, you know, hey, what do I know? Moving on. Last but not least, it's been reported that the last person to testify is a woman named Jane, which turns out to be 50 Cent's baby mama. And the details that she's given, I don't know. Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Enjoy the show.
That was good.
That was good, man. There was a lot of stuff in there, man.
A lot of ratchetness, right?
Hey, there's a whole lot of it. What's up, Adoration?
You can't hear you. You just see you. Just, you know,
Oh.
look like Stevie Wonder.
Hey guys.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
There you go. How you been, player?
I think
I'll be right back,
the
y'all.
world's getting
Keep
cold
talking.
again.
What? Repeat that
You
real
got
quick.
COVID?
Can you hear me?
Oh, no
I
thanks.
said I think our side of the world is getting COVID again.
Oh, yeah, well, better mask up,
Yeah.
player.
Bruh.
Get you
They
some.
said it's gonna come back in 2025, mid 2025, and in Thailand, there's
The devil is a
thousands
lie.
of cases. I know, but it's happening.
Oh, yeah, I'm cool. Time to go back into seclusion. You know what I'm saying?
Damn it! It's coming back with Trump in office. That's you saw what happened the last time.
Hey, yeah, he gonna give you a check with his
Mm.
name on it. You know what I'm saying? So you can go sit in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Fight your
You're
demon.
right.
I already had the shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool. I never had it, so
Oh, I got it once.
I'm straight.
yes, it's
I'm
not
cool.
the business.
Yeah, I'm cool. But man, it was some good stuff in there, man. I just want to start off by saying, Offset, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere,
Oh my God.
I also support.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
bro is tripping. Man, you got the whole bottle of Ace of Spades over there, man. You good? You know what I'm saying? What you going through? You need
It's
to
apple
talk.
juice.
You need to talk, brother.
It's Bel Air Rosé. It's Black Music Month.
Hey, for sure. But nah, that's the one that threw me off. Hey, bro, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Offset is weird for that. And
It's a little weird, man. Like I don't know.
he's acting like a bitter, scorned female. That's
Right.
what he's doing right now. You
Right.
taking pictures with my kids, you know, all this stuff, man, bro. You cheated on that woman hundreds of times.
How many times?
And now you mad. Get out your feelings, bro.
Took you back, gave you a baby, left you, took you back, had a baby, left you, had a baby while she left you. Like, hey, man, at this point, Cardi, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? If the Stephon Diggs dude is making you happy and he's treating you right, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're entitled to be happy. You gave it a shot.
I wouldn't say all that. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all hear the song that
We ain't hearing nothing because
not really dropped?
hey, COVID got your Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't hearing nothing. You just said your internet sick.
Y'all didn't hear that? I said, did y'all hear the song that she dropped?
Oh
She
nah,
didn't drop it, but
Nah,
it's fine. She didn't drop it because I think that she's waiting, but it's going viral right now. It is going viral. It is clean. It's Cardi, you know. It's
Barty.
Cardi.
check it out. But hey, that man, Lil Wayne, sir, what happened? What happened, sir? I was excited. I seen it pop up. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna bang this. Man, after about the 5th song, I said, hey, what the hell? Sir, what is this? This turned into a rock album. Then it went to a movie screenplay. And man, I don't know who told him to do this. Where was Manny Fresh at? I thought
he was on one of the songs.
I thought he was helping.
That song Bells, whatever, that song was hard. Was it History or Son, whatever it's called? That's hard. Even that song he did with his son, Cameron, the one he had with Lauren London, that's hard. The other song he did with his other son, that is like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it was just all over the place, man.
It really was. It was like a bipolar chick going through a midlife crisis. It was crazy.
Man, I was so excited, and it just led to disappointment. You know what I'm saying? And I don't appreciate it. I think too high. Wayne is one of my favorite rappers. You know, let me throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? Wayne is one of the GOATs, but that was just
Across America. I just watched Tupac last show. What last show you talking about? And thank you for coming through. Oh, real quick, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but if you shout out to the Facebook people, the Facebook crew, if you're watching, thank you. Make sure you hit the like, share, and the like, share, and the follow button if you're following me. If you're on YouTube, what's up to the YouTube folks? Make sure that you hit the like, share, follow, and subscribe, and the notification. Make sure you send this out to your peeps. This is going to be a good one. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Quest, but go ahead. Shout out to the YouTube people.
No, you good. You good. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Tupac tonight too in a minute. So
yeah, we talking about Pac. You know what I'm saying? Adoration, I gotta school you a little bit. You lucky I was busy. Yeah, I know you from Baltimore. Man. I know you from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? But Tupac spent 4 years in Baltimore, and then he left and came to Cali with his family. He didn't come out here to record.
Yeah,
he didn't come out here looking for a record deal. He had to move.
He's from the East.
No doubt. But you're going to hear from Tupac in his own words. You can't argue with Pac in his own words.
The man passed a couple years after that. You can't move somewhere as an adult and then be from
He moved
there.
a couple years. Adoration. He'd been in Cali since 88. I think it was 87, 88. He went to high school. By my standards, my personal standards, if you went to high school somewhere, you are a resident. He didn't come here seeking no record deal. You know what I'm saying? He came here because his family had to move.
We're gonna argue later.
We're gonna discuss it later.
Because I love you, but you're wrong about this one. I am a Tupac historian. You gonna lose.
You can love
you gonna lose today.
You can love us from across the world, like across the country. You don't have to like.
You're gonna lose today. You're gonna lose tonight.
Man, we all know Pac is from the East, but you know what I'm saying. He loves the West. You know what I'm saying?
It's deeper than that.
Listen, I love Asia. But I'm not from there.
Yeah,
shit, I love Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. And the mayor, boy. Yeah, man. I my people in Tulsa, I need y'all to stand up on that one, man. For real. I need y'all to stand up on that one because Buddy hit y'all with a trick bag, and I don't appreciate it. Especially, that one hits a little more personal because there's still survivors from the actual massacre.
I think one more left, right?
Yeah, waiting on justice. And for people to keep playing in their face like that is ridiculous to me. To even call it reparations, knowing that it's not reparations, is ridiculous. You're not gonna get a lady no money. You're gonna say we're gonna include some education. This lady is 100 and something years old. What you finna educate her on? She older than you. Yeah, you gonna make a building and put her name on it? That's not reparations. You gonna fix streets and name a street after her? That's not reparations. You know what I mean? This is utterly absurd. And to put it out there like you was actually gonna do something with that 105 million that you have to go through the city board to approve all disbursements and you know what I'm saying, take votes on. That's not reparations. Quit. See, because it's in the lexicon right now, they keep using it as a political football. You know what I'm saying? To make it seem like they doing something. We all know what reparations is. Reparative justice, right? You know what I mean? Monetary repair. Whatever you want to say, you know what I'm saying? But that's not reparations. This is you know what I mean, infrastructure bill. That's really that's what they should have called it. It's an infrastructure bill. You talking about fixing some old buildings and neighborhoods and streets. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. That shit made me mad. I ain't gonna lie. That one made me mad, man, because I got excited for them people. I'm like,
it's Black Music Month. You know, we're going to talk about that. What's even more disheartening is that Linda McMahon, the new chair, she does not know about the Tulsa race massacre that happened in 1921. You talking about you supposed to be like
Ruby Bridges. She didn't even know about Ruby Bridges, and you the head of education.
Right. That shows how dumb you are. But hey. Hey man, did you remember the words that I was gonna have you say that you was gonna do the third words for today? Do you remember what it was?
Man, I was talking about how rejection is direction, right? How sometimes we look at things and we wonder why we don't get access to it, or why it didn't work out the way we thought it should. And a lot of times it's protection and it's direction for to let you know that you're not supposed to be going that way. And a bunch of times we pray for things and we ask for things, or whatever your situation is, you know what I'm saying, as far as your faith and religion. But you ask for things, and then instead of waiting on the answer, you say this is taking too long, and then you end up going the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And you run into a whole bunch of pitfalls and hurdles that were unnecessary because you didn't wait on your direction. And typically when we go towards things that we first were rejected from, we tend to hurt ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was talking about the other day, because a lot of people do it. And they don't pay attention to the signs, man. When you are rejected from something and you go and chase it anyways, it usually hurts you. So you know what I mean? Rejection is direction, man. Pay attention. That's the third word of the day. I appreciate that.
Third word by the way of Quez.
You know what I mean? Let's get it.
All right. So before we get started, we got to celebrate. This is Black Music Month. This is also Happy Juneteenth month. You know what I'm saying? We've taken over the whole month. Also, this is our little prince, my little nephew. My little nephew's birthday is literally like right before Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Mama? How you doing?
The day before.
Amir, right? It's his birthday right before Juneteenth. We were trying to hold out hope for you, player, so you can be actually born on Juneteenth. But you're in good company. You know what I'm saying? Right in that week, you have Ice Cube's birthday, you have Tupac's birthday, you have Kendrick's birthday, now your birthday, and then boom, Juneteenth. So we celebrate that whole week.
we missed it by an hour, man.
Wow, an hour.
By an hour, but it's all good.
We just gonna honorary call him a Juneteenth baby. You know what I'm saying?
He is, but no, it's a blessing, man, and he's growing into his own self. So it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Man, he is a nice, chill baby. You know what I'm saying? When I picked him up and held him, I was suspecting crying and whatnot. He was just like, hey, this is Uncle Third right here, man. I ain't heard your voice on the show. You know what's up, player?
Hey, facts. Yeah, he out there in the mix with the rest of the kids, man. So he getting his little personality on. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Starting to move and groove. So we'll see what it turned into.
Yeah, shout out to Mahir, yo. This
Yeah.
is your month too. We celebrate you all month. My punk ass cousin Drew, you know, saying it's his birthday. I love that dude, you know. So I'm just saying, you know, I'm joking. He has the same birthday as Pac. You know, what I'm saying?
Okay,
So
that's
shout out
what's
to all
up.
the Geminis out there. You know,
Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday. All right, man. Where we leading off with this thing?
Before
man?
we get into it, we got some house rules. So make sure you guys are sharing this onto your feed. It's going to be a good one tonight. We're talking about Tupac. Is he an LA rapper, Bay Area rapper, West Coast rapper, East Coast rapper? You know, we're definitely going to talk about that. The Game dropped his own top 50 LA rappers. The reason why we're asking about Tupac is because people have pretty much said that Tupac belongs on this list, but Complex dropped a top 50 LA rapper list, and Tupac was not on it, and it had some people within the city pissed off. And so even the Game was pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Because he was placed like number 11 on it. And so he created his own list, which, you know, I'm actually rocking with. So we're going to show his list, and we're going to see if we actually agree with that too. Also, excuse me, this Bel Air got me burping. Man, but we were talking about this woman who quit her job because she said she couldn't take care of her basic needs. And I love that I put up that post because it opened up a good topic or a good discussion about mental health, depression, whether it's even just sheer laziness, you know, saying which all three could be true all at once, you know, saying it could be a myriad of things. So we didn't really get a chance to really like touch on it. So we're going to pick back up on it tonight. But I know that some people are here. You know, I've seen people coming in and out. I know they're waiting for that Tupac one. So, or the 50 LA rappers list. So, and I got some for you because I'm going to educate the uneducated tonight. And with that being said, if you guys are coming on, I have the link in the description on both Facebook and YouTube. Make sure that you click that. If you're coming on as a guest and you're using your phone, make sure you have to use your headphones. Also know that it will work as a microphone, so it picks up on everything. So make sure that you're in a nice, quiet spot. You got your Wi-Fi popping. Oh, snap. I think we got the return of Toes. Make sure you got your Wi-Fi popping. There's no background distractions in the back. There's nothing really going on, really, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you guys are in a nice, quiet spot. Make sure that you get your Wi-Fi on. Also, too, it's okay to debate. It's okay to get into heated discussions, but just make sure you keep it respectful. No calling out names. No talking about pulling up. Just keep it all about love. Also, too, just know that, you know, this is a show. This is a production, so there's no eating. We allow drinking. You know, saying of any sorts. You know, saying, but just keep it nice, respectful for the show. But other than that, you know, have a good one. We're gonna get into some quick advertisement. Oh, what's up? I see you, man. I see you, fam. I seen you on YouTube. My YouTube brother.
Nigga Black. We'll bring you up right after this.
We'll bring you after the promotions real quick. Hey, so we're gonna just do some advertisements real quick. We'll bring everybody onto the stage, and we'll get it popping with some Tupac. So stay tuned.
Hello, family. I'm Marquez.
Hey, you guys, and I'm Denisha.
We all want the best for our children, right? Security, opportunities, and a future filled with endless possibilities.
That's right, but here's the question. What are you doing today to create that future? Imagine building a business that creates generational wealth, leaving a legacy that grows even when you're not working, showing your children what it means to dream big and take action.
That's right. With PlanNet Marketing, we offer you the opportunity to earn income while still being present with and for your family. We show you how to invest in their future while securing your own and teach them by example what financial freedom should look like.
And don't just tell your kids to dream big, show them how it's done.
That's right. Comment below or
you could just message us for a direct link to our presentation.
Meet Terry Johnson, the woman who used $50,000 saved for a wedding to start a luxury candle business, and she is now worth $2 million. She transformed her love for Harlem's rich cultural legacy into a multi-million-dollar business. Using $50,000 originally saved for a wedding, she founded the Harlem Candle Company in 2015, and is now found in major retailers like Nordstrom and Bloomingdale's. Each candle honors legends like Langston Hughes, Josephine Baker, with scents that transport you to the Harlem Renaissance, like Billie Holiday, Langston Hughes, Duke Ellington, even Frederick Douglass, and a host of other Harlem Renaissance figures that you would love as it celebrates rich history within the African American culture. Also, other scented candles. So make sure you go out and support Terry Johnson and the Harlem Candle Company. Make sure you support. We see you, Queen. Salute. Yeah. You're wasting time. And we are back. Facebook, stop copyright striking me. That's my song. I am Third Degree. It's my music. I own the rights. You know what I'm saying? I collect my residuals. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we gotta go through this every week, bro.
Every week.
Every week. Tell them to get it together.
Yeah. They keep copyright striking the brother. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Nikki Black.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Brother, how you doing?
Chilling.
Hey, man, what part of the East Coast are you from, man?
New York.
New York? Okay, what part?
Albany, the capital.
Oh, okay, bet. Hey, so I met this brother on YouTube. I reached out to him. He has a video. Hey, shout out your YouTube channel, brother.
I got Nikki Black. That's my normal channel, and then I got Tupac Was Lyrical, channel by Nikki Black.
Okay.
Bet. Hey, man, because he was up there. He's a staunch defender of Tupac being lyrical. Because you got some people who say that Tupac wasn't a lyricist and all this other stuff, and he was actually breaking it down. I loved how his perspective was, saying, like, again, we know the facts that, Tupac was born in New York, saying he moved at 13 to Baltimore at, and then he went to the Baltimore School for the Arts. He was there for 4 years. I think he did a little bit of junior high, 3 years of high school, and then he moved to the Bay, Marin City. Then he went to Oakland. And, I like how the brother actually, represents that in that, because some people will actually try to say, no, he wasn't X, Y, and Z. But I like his videos. I like what he represents. So I invited him to come on and talk on the show because we're definitely going to talk about was Tupac a lyricist. That's going to be one of the questions I'm bringing up to the panel.
Good stuff. Good stuff, man. Appreciate having, man. It's a blessing, brother. We appreciate you.
Most definitely. I appreciate the brother reaching out to me. I felt good.
All right.
That somebody reached out to me like that. And first time I did this in a long time.
Yes, sir. Well, we definitely would love to have you back, man. You're a resident here. So, and a contributor. So, whenever you feel free, we're here every Friday. 6 o'clock Cali, 9 p.m. East Coast, So anytime, brother, you're welcome.
That's a fact. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right, what's up, Miss Jess?
Hello.
Hey,
oh, this is another like Tupac head too. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the reason why I was attracted to her. Because who's your favorite rapper? Tupac. I'm like, oh, this might work out beautiful.
That's a fact.
And she likes Lakers too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, this might just work. I don't know if she would have said anybody else. You know what I'm saying? We would have been had heated debates like I'm getting ready to have with Miss Adoration.
Oh, Adoration.
But no, she's
We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. That Adoration, defend yourself. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so Complex Magazine dropped their top 50 LA rappers, you know what I'm saying? And Tupac was nowhere on it. And they had to do a whole disclaimer about it. And this is what they came up with right here.
Is Tupac an LA rapper? Complex put out a list of the 50 best rappers from LA, and we didn't include Tupac. Of course, it started a lot of arguments, but let me explain why we did it. If you read the actual article, we explained that we only included artists who creatively came to life in the city. And Pac might seem like an LA rapper, but he only lived in the city for a very short amount of time. Although he had some big hits under the Death Row banner, he was already a fully formed platinum-selling artist by the time California Love came out. Tupac was born in New York City. He moved to Baltimore as a teenager, attending the Baltimore School for the Arts. arts with Jada Pinkett Smith. He moved to Oakland in his late teenage years, where he would launch his rap career with Digital Underground. This is where he was actually shaped as a rapper. During this time, he also frequently spent time going back to the East Coast in New York, shooting movies like Juice and Above the Brim, as well as Atlanta, where he had a home. He didn't really live in LA until signing with Death Row and being released, eventually moving into a mansion in Woodland Hill. Tupac himself has said that he claims Oakland rather than LA or New York. In a 1994 interview, Pac talked about how despite being born in New York, he didn't learn the game until he moved to Oakland.
So I give all my love to Oakland. If I'm going to claim somewhere, I'm going to claim Oakland. Even if I don't live there. I live in LA now, but I'm going to still claim Oakland. That's where it gave me the game.
I know it might feel blasphemous to not include Pac on the LA rappers list, but hopefully this at least explains our rationale, alright? For Complex, I'm Jordan Rose. Peace.
Okay, so off top, you know what I'm saying? I hate when Complex, Billboard, excuse me, all these other publications do these little stupid lists and then they try to put out stuff as if they actually did their research. Because let's put out a little disclaimer, like Tupac didn't just move to LA when he signed with Death Row. Tupac moved to LA in 1992. He moved to LA because he was filming movies. So on top of that, out of Pac's own words, he had to leave out of the Bay because, well, even Shock G said so. There was a hit that was placed on Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had caused some funk with some people up in the Bay, which I believe, don't quote me, from what I heard, I believe it was Mac Dre in the Romper Room, you know what I'm saying? Because he did something to where it was something where they had a little bit of discourse, but then they actually wound up working it out later. But he moved to LA in 92 to film movies. Then he bought a home in Atlanta for his family. So he relocated his people from New York to Atlanta. But he's been in LA since 92. But he's been in the California since like 87, 88. Actually, his sister said they've been coming to LA. No, they've been coming to the West Coast since the 70s. Because his mom, God rest her soul, Afeni Shakur, was actually helping to try to free Geronimo Pratt, which was his godfather, who was locked up out here in California. So they've been making trips out to the Bay since like the 70s. They even got pictures of Tupac, Yaki Gaddafi, and his sister on a playground in San Francisco. So with that being said, how do you guys feel about Tupac being left off of the Complex top 50 LA rappers?
Well, after the explanation, I can understand it. You know, because if we're being super technical, he's not really an LA rapper. By his own admission, he would give all his credit to the Bay because that's where he learned the game. I think where the discourse comes in is because even though he was with Digital Underground up north, you know what I'm saying, in the Bay, he's not known primarily for that sound. Right, we know Tupac more so for those West Coast, LA Southern Hood classics that he dropped. That's basically what everybody knows him from. Not too many people run around here bumping Digital Underground. Just being honest, you know what I'm saying. But I can understand with their reasoning. If we're holding it strictly to LA rappers, then yeah, I could give you that on a technicality. But I think LA would say he's an LA rapper. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest.
I'll give you the reason why later, but go ahead.
Let's be real though, like, and when we talk about where people are from, we talk about LA in particular, you gotta be real, like you said, technical with it, because everybody, especially back in those days, went to LA to record and put their stuff out. That's like, I mean, that's where Hollywood is. That's where the stuff is. So if I fly to LA and do the bulk of my acting there, or do a movie or do a couple movies there, am I now an LA actress? No, that doesn't, it just doesn't make sense to automatically. Now, nowadays people are recording, you know, in different places, but back in the day, especially, that's where the hub is. So we can't just say that everybody who recorded their biggest hits in LA are LA rappers or LA singers or LA actors. That just doesn't make sense. And I think that's where people are not really connecting here. Tupac, he was 17, let's say, when he, you know, moved to the West. But he was a grown man, and Tupac passed a few years later. So it's not like he was there for 20 years, for 40 years.
He passed in 1996.
I know. That's what I'm saying, guys. That's literally what I'm saying. When I say, okay, a few years according to his life, more like a third of his life or whatnot, but like it doesn't make any sense. He's not automatically an LA rapper because maybe one of his biggest hits or some of his biggest stuff came out in LA. Or he put it out when he was living in LA. That doesn't make any sense.
That's not what it's based on. But go ahead. We'll let Jess and then we'll let Nikki Black break it down.
He does have songs. Speaking of LA, so I think he kind of did represent LA in a way.
All right, Nikki Black.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you good.
My personal opinion on that is that it's all clickbait. And if they want to be real, that's like saying in New York, that's like saying who's the best MCs of Queens, who's the best. Like you could do all that, but you might as well just say East Coast. You know what I mean? Because then you could put Philly, New Jersey, the Barrows, wherever, Buffalo, wherever, you know, in Baltimore. And if you're going to do LA, you might as well just do the West Coast MCs. But at the same time, they know that they know that saying, keeping Tupac's name off that is just going to generate a lot of commotion. This is going to it's going to help them out with people with their brand. So it's all clickbait. Like I was looking at the flyer that you sent me and with Game, and that was my first time seeing it, but so I couldn't really see the list, but I didn't see Kendrick's name on there, if I'm not mistaken.
Kendrick is there. He's like he's maybe like number 4 on that list. We're gonna talk about that too. I have the list here too.
All right, so I just wanted to end this off by saying like it's clickbait when you do things like that. But if you're really gonna, you could say the Bay Area. You could call Tupac a Bay Area. In my opinion, you could call Tupac a Bay Area MC. You could call Tupac a LA MC. Or you could call Tupac a West Coast rapper. And period, you could just call Tupac just one of the greatest of all times. And to be talked about this year, I mean, these amount of years, and just deliberately leaving him off the list, or they do that as clickbait and we fall for them. Like, who runs that? Like, let me ask you this question. I'm gonna stop talking. Like, who runs Complex? Is it black people or is it white people?
Right.
I believe they may be of Caucasian or clear hue.
Yeah, and so and they've been, I'm not going to get too profound, but and they've been doing to that since slavery, you know, always making us argue and always just causing confusion, and they just sit back and just watch this and eat popcorn. You know what I mean?
Hey, brother, get as profound as you want,
man.
And not even talking about, you know, the reason why I created Tupac's channel. People come to me, I get so much hate. It's ridiculous. Even threats. So it's like the reason why I created the channel Tupac Was Lyrical is because I'm defending Tupac's lyrical legacy. And by defending Tupac's lyrical legacy, number one, I'm showing people, I'm displaying that even in the midst of his message of what he was saying, the dude can rap his ass off. You know what I mean? The dude can spit. The dude is versatile. The dude is unbelievable, is incredible. And you ain't even at what he was doing. And I just watched him evolve from day one of Tupaculous Now or Same Song all the way up to 1996 and leaving all those kind of songs behind of that magnitude. And here we are 29, damn near 30 years later, and people still use Tupac as clickbait. That just goes to show you how dope he was, how powerful he was, and how it's all clickbait, bro. And I really hate it. So that's one reason why I was gonna speak about it on my channel, because I'm gonna start getting at these yakus. I call white people yakus for another reason. Like I said, I don't want to get too profound. So
I know,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
If you know about Dr. Yaku, but so they just do that, man. Like, and we keep falling for it. Oh, my point was this what I get when I go on tangents. My point is like, and when you focus on Tupac and they take him off, only thing we talk about why Tupac is not on the list, why this, not that. Tupac had a great message, and yet we have yet to I'm not saying us here, But yet we have yet to talk about Tupac's message, Code of Thug Life, or whatever, because it's like picking up the pages where he left off and keep it going. Like where Malcolm X left off, or Martin Luther King left off, where other great people left off. And the only thing we do is just talk about how great they was, but we don't continue on with the legacy. So Tupac has such a strong legacy. So we just talk about Tupac not being on the list, and his message just furthers and furthers just get buried underneath. You know what I mean? It's like we don't. That needs to be talked. One of these days, that's got to be talked about, other than all the freaking gossip. You know what I mean?
You know what? We got you here. We got a platform. We'll put you on here. We'll talk about it. The one good thing about this, like even Melvin, we're huge Tupac fans. You know what I'm saying? So this is something we could definitely talk about. You know, Tupac helped inspire my career, you know what I'm saying, as a rapper, you know what I'm saying, because of songs like Dear Mama or even Papa's song. You know what I'm saying? Like with him putting his personal life into these pages, I think a lot of people felt like you could relate to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dope thing about Tupac. For me, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna give props. So adoration, so the one thing is, and here's how I go about it, and I'm gonna have to, exit out so I can get my screen back on. But with Tupac, the unique thing is that he definitely was born in New York. And he was born, I think, within Harlem. He spent time between Harlem and the Bronx, which we all know that the Bronx is the birthplace of hip hop, as we know. So he was seasoned. He was right there to get the firsthand experience of what it means to actually be a rapper. So by the time that he went to Baltimore, he had an edge on the Baltimore cats. When he went to the Bay, what made him stand out was because he did not sound like everybody else that was actually out there in the Bay. He actually got to sit there firsthand. It's like going to school. He got educated within the school of hip hop. So he got to learn the techniques of what it meant to be an MC. So when he came out to the West Coast, everybody is looking to the East Coast as far as like Run DMC, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane. They're looking at to this for inspiration. He was there to witness it firsthand. So when he was there coming out to the Bay, he had an upper hand on everybody else. But then what he did was he adapted to the Bay Area. Even in the movie Juice, when he said something like whatever he says, I don't give a, something about partner. Partner is a Bay Area slang. There were certain things that he did that he incorporated, and he shout out little nods that he did to the Bay. Even in his first album, from Tupacalypse Now all the way up until he died, he always gave it up for California, but he also showed love to the East Coast. On a song called Old School, which was on Me Against the World, he gave it up to the East Coast. For a long time, he was always trying to be that bridge between the East Coast and West Coast. So he had the East Coast flavor with a West Coast attitude, which if you shook it up in a bottle, which made him Tupac. So he took that lyricism, that MCing that he got from the East Coast, brought it to the West Coast, and this is what made him unique. It's what made him stand out amongst like the Snoop Dogs. And so I say this to say, because Tupac was actually, when he came to Digital Underground, which I think was like 89 or whatever, saying my cousins were signed to Ruthless Records. His manager, Adrian Gregory, was the tour manager for JJ Fad and for NWA. So for people to sit up here and to say that he's not West Coast or he's not LA, Tupac has been here since almost the inception of like what we know as gangster rap music. When it was coming out after NWA, this is when it started really becoming popular. He was here to see the ground roots being laid down for West Coast hip hop. He was actually here to take in that, what I'm saying, just like he took on the East Coast. So he was here since the inception of West Coast gangster rap. This is why Tupac gets a pass. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's like Kobe Bryant coming straight out of high school from Philly, what I'm saying, from Pennsylvania, coming out to LA, what I'm saying. He came out as a late teenager, what I'm saying, but then he sat up there and he honed his skills right here and cultivated what we know as the brand of Kobe Bryant right here on the West Coast. Same thing with Tupac. And even to the brother's point, when he brought up the code of Thug Life, a lot of people don't know that Thug Life was actually conceived and conceived in LA. You know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of LA rappers, Big Sight, Macadocious, Rated R. They're from LA. You know what I'm saying? So Thug Life that was created and birthed in LA.
Well,
I hear you. I do. I do. But go ahead, Quest.
no, I just was gonna say because to our brother Nicky's point, because he keeps bringing up a very valid point of people saying that Tupac is not lyrical, which is absurd to me. You know what I'm saying? A man that could walk you through several different emotions in one album, right? You know, where he can give you some political justice, he can give you some history, he can. It takes a lot to make a song that people want to listen to. To me, that's lyricism, right? We got a bunch of people out here rapping that ain't saying shit. So, for that man in that short amount of time to create that big of a movement from a Brenda's Baby to, you know what I'm saying, Machiavelli to All Eyes on Me, right? Like to take those are very different tracks. Like that takes a skill set to do that. Not everybody can do that. You know what I mean? So on top of him just being the lyricist that he was and the musical genius, a lot of people forget the political activism that Tupac spoke about. Not on he did some on the records, but even when you listen to his interviews, the way he spoke about us as a people, and his history of family and lineage being part of that Black Panther movement, he brought that into the music industry, and people, like Nikki just said, tend to overshadow that and not pay attention to why he was making the music and why he was making it the way he made it. And the only person I could see close enough to carry on that message right now is Kendrick. You know what I mean? In that regard. But even with him, you know what I'm saying, there's still some disdain from fans right now. Oh, his music too boring. It's too this, it's too that. Like, shut up. You know
Can
what I'm
I
saying?
interject?
Go ahead.
Can I interject?
Go ahead. You got it.
One thing in my opinion, one reason why a lot of people stop focusing in on Tupac, the agenda and the message, is because they just started focusing on Tupac. And I feel like that was because when he got accused of rape, and then when he got shot up, and then he went to prison, and then when he got bailed out and he came home, now all this stuff before he came home, when he went to, all this stuff happened to him at age 23. And it's just like, imagine me and Tupac he's a year older than me. I'm 52 years old, but the intelligence, the bravery, the ambition that he had at 23, I was nowhere near that level. Now, if a woman would have accused me of rape, I don't know how I would have handled that. This brother even went out there in front of journalists and speaking on his behalf. I'm like, you seen the video where he was like, yes, I'm going to say I'm a thug because I'm coming to gutter and because I'm still here, and everything that he said. And then when you look at all these other black men who nowadays who are being accused of sexual assault or things of that nature, their lawyers is always telling them, shh, hush. They even told Michael Jackson that, hush, pay people off and all this.
Right.
These white folk would tell you to, like, yo, just hush, don't say nothing. All that. No, Tupac was the only person, maybe besides, I don't want to put Mike Tyson in there because I'm not too sure, but just speaking for Tupac was, like, in my opinion, was the only person who was speaking up for himself, even though he still kept it legal. I remember him being on Arsenio Hall and he was just like, yo, I can't, if I say her name, so he was like, but she could say Tupac Shakur. So he was like, I want to show you that it's Tupac's world, but I'm gonna have to play it like this for the sake of my family, for the sake of my freedom, for the sake of this, that, and the third. So he got sidetracked. And when he came out, and to see all these people in his eyes, I often put myself in his mind state. I tried to, especially through the lyricism. That's why I said through the lyricism. Like, yeah, I'm gonna show you that he's lyrical, but when you just start breaking down the of what he's saying, then you start really, you're getting into the mindset of this man. And at 23, imagine yourself at 23 enduring a rape charge, enduring gun charges, enduring niggas saying you did it, enduring getting shot up, enduring getting death threats, and then enduring going against a system that our people been fighting against since the 60s or before, and then go to prison for touching the girl's butt. How is he supposed to come back out and focus on his message when black people have betrayed him? So then he drops all lies on me. He did it. He had a sense of urgency. He had a sense of urgency to get things done quickly, and rush through this, rush through the movies, rush through that. And I'm not saying he did a bad job. He did a great job. And it's like, just imagine if Tupac would have took his time. Or I often say, just imagine if Pac didn't get accused of rape, didn't go to prison, none of this other stuff. So then when you focus in on lyricism of Me Against the World album and the things that he was saying up until that point of being accused of rape, we don't even talk about when Tupac shot 2 white people who turned out to be 2 off-duty police officers. Like, he shot 2 white people.
And got off.
I studied Neely Fuller Jr. Neely Fuller Jr. deals with white supremacy. Like I said, I didn't want to get too profound, but Neely Fuller Jr. deals with white supremacy, and he'll tell you, like, you know, we black people, we talk, you know, especially black men, we talk big, bad, and all this other stuff. But then when the white man come around, we do this, or we murder one of our people, and then we run. Who you running from? Where's the gangster shit at? Where you running from? You're running from the white man. You're running from these, you know what I'm saying? So when Tupac shot those cops, he didn't know they was cops, but he intervened and saved the brother's life. We don't know what happened to that brother's life. That brother, they probably
turned
caught
around
up
and
with
tried
him.
to. I mean, to interrupt. He turned around and tried to sue Tupac.
Oh, well, I see. I never knew that. Like, now you got to send me a link for that. Now that's disrespectful than the month. That's, now that I know that, if I research that, you send me the link or whatever, I have to talk about that. But the action of what Tupac did still needs to be analyzed and studied. That's why when people come to me like, yo, how can you put Tupac at #1 over Rakim, KRS-One, Jay-Z, Nas, et cetera, how can you do that? And I'm just like, yo, it's because it's not, it was just the raps is him. And then on top of that, the shit that he said in his raps, it's like, damn, Tupac, like, your life is more impactful than the shit you spitting. You're not even talking about you stepping to gang members, you visiting a little girl in the hospital who was bit, like the stories that other people hear. He ain't even put that stuff in his raps.
Right.
So he just got so sidetracked. He didn't even have to make All Eyes on Me when he came home. You know what I mean? He could have. You ain't make not one video for Me Against the World with yourself in it. So this goes to show you how dope he was to complete an album in less than 2 weeks, give you all them lyricism, give you all that, and then he tried to go back to Machiavelli, according to Shock G, to get back. I mean, go back to Machiavelli to go back into where he left off at with Me Against the World, because I think there was a point in time where he realized, like, I got to get back to the message. I've been angry too freaking long, and it's distracting me.
Right.
So to end this, to pass the mic back. So, that's what I often when we don't talk about the message and all this other stuff. So I can just see that when I listen to other people talk, when Shock G said that, you know, Tupac was sitting there biting his nails, like, yo, what you think about this? He was like, I like it, but what about the All Eyes on Me? I did that for sure. This is the one that matters to me, because he was conflicted, traumatized, didn't know who to trust. Like, people don't. This is why I get so upset, and I'm very passionate, because I'm like, yo, here we are 30 years later, and on my channel or whoever, I'm arguing with people that's like 40, 50, 60. You still angry at a person that died when he was 25, bro?
Right.
You would think Tupac died yesterday at 52 or 53.
Right.
You, like, imagine dealing what he dealt with at 23. How many of us can handle that, bro? Look
Right.
what Puff Daddy, look what, no, I'm not shouting out, but look what Diddy going through now. Nigga, you like in your 50s.
Right.
Look what R. Kelly went through. Like nobody paid attention to. Look what Michael Jackson put himself through. Look
R.
what all
Kelly-
these black men go through.
R. Kelly and Diddy should have just been like porno makers. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, come on now.
I'm just saying because the stuff that's coming out now is just
Guys.
wow. It's just
Yeah,
wow.
it is wow. But yeah,
It's wild. And you got white people running that shit again. You got white people running it. You got like, I'm gonna say this and I'm stopping right now. This is a white man's world. This is a white man's world. And I don't, if people want to like, nah, that's not true. That man, they control, look how much they control. They control the judicial system. It should be us taking care of our people, not them. We ain't even handle them for what they did to us, but they handling our people. We should be giving repercussions and consequences to our people, not them. You know, we shouldn't be allowing the outsider to be doing what they do to us. And that's what Tupac was saying. Tupac was like, yo, it's more of us than it is of them.
Exactly.
Unite. You know what I mean? So this is the shit I be talking about. So when I get, I tell people like, yo, if I don't have that many friends because they don't like Pac. And they look at me like I'm crazy, like, yo, you really ain't my friend? You really don't want to be friends? I'm like, yo, bro, if you hate Tupac right now, you 50-something years old, and you're telling me you hate Tupac and you don't like Tupac, and after this nigga done shot cops, after the stuff that he done went through, and you still can't fathom that of what this young man went through who died almost 30 years ago, bro, how can I rock with you? Your mind is disturbed, and you think with no sense of logic. How can I continue? Tupac told me to look at the hearts of men. When I listen to music, Tupac said, hold these niggas accountable. Don't just bop your head to it. And look what all these people are saying.
Right.
And the last thing, when we shout out Kendrick, I love Kendrick Lamar as a lyricist. As a lyricist, I think he's incredible. But when people say like he's carrying on Tupac's legacy, nah, bro. Nah. You put these two together, everything that we talking about, you measure that up with Kendrick and with Tupac, and you'll see that there's a big difference. Tupac is way ahead of this dude. In order to continue on Tupac's legacy, man, you got to be out there. You can't be quiet. All these people are quiet.
I agree with you on that one. But see, Kendrick does it in his own way, where he's standing on his business, and he even said it himself that he is an offspring. Like, or if you know, like the whole To Pimp a Butterfly was actually supposed to be called To Pimp a
Caterpillar.
Because he wanted to dedicate that to Tupac. So he is the offspring. He is the seed of what Tupac. He was that brain that Tupac was talking about sparking. You know what I'm saying? And I think Kendrick is a revolutionary in his own right. You know what I'm saying? So
I just you want to hit some of these comments because
I'm getting ready to hit. Get ready to hit. Yeah. Angie, was good with you. Thank you. If you got also for those who are just tuning in, if you guys want to be a guest, the link is in the description on Facebook and YouTube. It's also in the comments on Facebook. Shout out to Angie. You know what I'm saying? You always come through and always show love. She's a top contributor. I love you. Rob said Tupac made you feel it. That he definitely evoked emotion. He also said the energy in his music was unmatched. What's up, AJ Streets? A Streets, this is my dude. He's also from New York. I feel this energy. Many need to stand on business. I don't idolize any man on the level dude is speaking on, because Rakim has respectfully done more than has been documented. Maybe so. He also said, OMG, you got to know your history, bro. Stokely Carmichael. I'm a dude. I'm bunking up the name. Yusef Hawkins. They were under 30 and did as much as Pac. He also said Pac stood on business just like DMX. Yeah. Yo, Tupac was unapologetic.
Nah, yo. A lot of in my opinion, though. All right. Oh my God, bro! Like I'm online. Some of the things I just, bro. I look at things so totally different. I look at things different from the way people look at it. Somebody said, I don't know what he meant when he said that Rakim has done more than, and I love Rakim. You know what I mean? But he said Rakim has done more than Tupac. I don't understand what he meant. He would have to say that. And then somebody would say, then they would say this about DMX and Tupac. This is what I'm saying. Like, no disrespect to Kendrick or none of these people. But that's like me saying, yo, I'm just as great as Malcolm X. And you want to run down my resume? And if you was to run down my resume and compare it to Malcolm X, am I on that same level? Not at all. I'm not saying that Tupac is Malcolm X. I'm just saying when you take the resumes, like we're talking about DMX. I'm going to put it like this in a subtle way. DMX blamed Jay-Z in 2004 for blackballing his career or something like that. Now, if you go back and Wikipedia what DMX was going through in 2004, this man got arrested like 18 or 20 times, impersonating the FBI agent on drugs, caught with a DUI, hijacking somebody's car, all this other stuff. So Jay-Z, as a Def Jam president, I got a job to do. Right. And I'm looking at one of my artists doing, you're committing felonious things. So, and it's like, that's like, I'm Jay-Z, I got to do what I got to do while you out here doing crimes. You're literally out here doing crimes as well as getting high. No disrespect to him. He had an addiction. So when people say DMX and Tupac is on the same level, like, no. Like I'm really trying to refrain from really going there. They're not on the same level at all. I just talked about Tupac shooting at cops. Who does that? And he never bragged about it in his song. He might have said something here and there, but he never said I dropped on one knee, popped him in the ass, popped him in the hip, then I dipped, went back to the hotel with my uncle and talked shit. You know what I mean? He ain't do that. Others spoke for him. Tell me, only thing I hear about X and other people is like, yo, DMX robbed a nigga. Yo, DMX did this. Yo, DMX was on stage crying and praying. Okay.
Listen, man, listen. I was more so focused. I was more so focused on Stokely Carmichael, Amadou Diallo, and Yusef Hawkins. They not hip hop.
Rest in peace.
That's why there's a lot of people who the chairman Fred Hampton. There's a lot of individuals who didn't get to live out their purpose before they was 30. We were just we were just talking in reference to hip hop. So I mean, I can understand that point, but right. Everybody's gonna have a difference of opinion, and it all really comes down to proximity, right? I'm not from the East Coast, so, I don't know what Eric B and Rakim and all them was doing. I know the people in my hoods, you know what I'm saying, and the people that influenced me in the communities that I was in. So it is gonna come off kind of biased because we from the West. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least me
y'all
and
have to have
me and Third
person come all the way across the sea just to bless y'all with our
I mean, y'all
can hold on to that. That's all y'all can talk about.
No, y'all can hold on to that. The only people mad is the East Coast people because we know that. You know what I mean?
Here's the best of the West, and we came from the East.
Y'all the best of the West? Wow.
I mean,
third.
That is like I said, man. Tupac went to Hip Hop University in New York, and then he came out here. You know what I'm saying? And he soaked up that game, like I said. So I put together something for you, Adoration.
This is not a new allegiance to the West Coast. I've been on the West Coast all this time.
Oakland. That was your first stop in California?
Right.
And
No. Marin City was before.
Marin City?
saying? Coming out of New York, I always learned about flavor and different shit like that. Not to diss New York, I learned a lot, but I never knew the game. I never learned the game. And when I went to Baltimore, I didn't learn the game. Nobody ever took the time to show me the game. When I got to Oakland, that's when I learned the game. With all my love to Oakland, if I'm going to claim somewhere, I'm going to claim Oakland. Even if I don't live there. I live in LA now, but I'm going to still claim Oakland. That's where it gave me the game. So I'm a resident, you know what I'm saying? You know.
So just to be petty, real quick.
No, but
Baltimore did not name a street after Tupac like Oakland did. So I'm just gonna say it like that. Hold on.
Yo, when you play that video, I don't never hear it.
But there's also no stars of people like superstars. There's a where they got their stars on the ground. That's in LA. But it doesn't mean that's where they're from.
I never said anything about Walk of Fame.
I'm not saying that's not where they took their training. I'm not saying that's not where they blossomed in their career, because obviously those are the places where people blossom in their career. But it doesn't mean that he's an LA rapper. And
so again, like I told you, he birthed thug life in LA. So he moved to LA in 92, and then from 92 up on the way to his death. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, because we don't know where he was robbed of the chance.
Right.
He was robbed of the chance to actually live and to grow. But what he was doing, he was planning on moving his aunt. He was planning on basing everything in LA. He was getting ready to start a youth organization.
I agree with you.
Wait. Stop. Okay. Because again, you're going against Tupac in his own words.
I'm not.
So,
that's not.
Wait, because he always gave love to the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? He always gave love to the East Coast. But again, he also gave love to where he was at. Because had he not would have moved to the Bay, we would not have a Tupac. He would have been another fish, maybe. Who's to say? He would have been another fish in a bigger pond. But he came out to the Bay, and he was a big fish in a small pond. Matter of fact, a small piece of Tupac history. Tupac wasn't the first in his family to even go gold or platinum. The first person to actually do that was his brother Mo Preem, who moved to the Bay and had his first hit with Tony Feels Good. He was Mercedes DeMello. So again, you know what I'm saying, even Mo Preem would tell you, you know what I'm saying, like they are residents here. The embodiment, the thug life tattoo is LA.
Let them hold on to something. They want some Tupac.
No. Listen, we don't have to hold on to
have a little Tupac.
We produce.
It's okay.
Everybody goes out to California. Every industry goes out to California.
That's not the argument, though.
Thank you, Angie.
The argument is Tupac came to LA and he made West Coast music. He didn't come out here and make East Coast music.
But didn't Third just say?
He didn't sound like nobody from over there. He didn't sound like Nas, Jay-Z,
even the Source magazine, when they were rating Tupacalypse wasn't Strictly for My Niggas. You know what I'm saying? They called him an Oaktown rapper. Even Tupac would tell you I have another video. He would tell you, I'm originally from New York, but I'm in California. It's what I represent. Even when he did Juice, you know what I'm saying, they were making fun of him because of the fact that he was from Oakland. When he brought up the whole thing about the movies, he said, well, $6.50 was, I don't know about that Oakland stuff. It's $7 out here in New York. So again, it's just what made him unique. It gave him personality, which again is just like The Game. The Game is another West Coast rapper. You could tell he was influenced by the East Coast rappers like Nas, rappers like Jay, whatever, you know, say he pulled from the East Coast and he had that West Coast attitude, which is what made the game the game. So again, this is just embodiment. So again, even with Nas was a dope lyricist, but even Nas would tell you, I'm the first New York nigga that was rapping with Dre. You know what I'm saying? Way back in the day, the first New York nigga rapping with Dre. If Tupac was quote unquote an East Coast rapper, then he would not necessarily be the first New York nigga rapping with Dre. Because again, at this point in time, when Tupac came out, he came out of Oakland. Digital Underground put him on. Like I said, since the inception of West Coast gangster rap, my people was here with him. He was here.
He was here since the inception. So Tupac, to me, in all sincerity, I think he is the Bay, he is LA, he's a West Coast rapper. So if you put him on the LA list, I'm not mad at it.
Agree, disagree. If my raps drop in Thailand, which they probably will, I'm just not a Thai rapper. That's just, I'm not saying I can claim, now I'll claim Thailand. I actually grew up in Thailand even more so. I lived in Thailand since I was 11. All right, so I can more so claim this and that. But the truth is, like I said, and I'm not even disagreeing with him claiming that. I'm not disagreeing with him saying, hey, I'm Oakland, because I mean, I'm practically Thai. But at the end of the day, even if I spit some Thai lyrics and I can speak Thai, it doesn't make me a Thai rapper. I'm still an American rapper in Thailand that comes from Thailand. On top of that, like I said, everybody in the U.S. comes to the West Coast to put their stuff out because that.
But
So
everybody can't come to
LA
but adoration. Everybody can't come to the West Coast and make West Coast music. Everybody can't do that.
But it doesn't matter.
Like,
you can do
even with you being in Thailand. Even if you did try to make some music that sound like Thailand music,
right?
They would know that you're not Thailand. You know what I'm saying?
I know,
but let's say you made Thailand hip hop, whatever it grows into be, using the culture of Thailand. That's because that's what it would take. You would have to be involved in the culture.
I literally grew up. I got it.
No, I know you are, but when you make your music, you're gonna make it from an American standpoint, using those influences, those sounds, the dialect. All of that is gonna be American. It's not gonna be Thailand. So nobody's gonna call you a Thailand rapper.
But here we go, Quez. Listen to this.
Tupac came to the West, he took on West Coast mannerisms, culture.
But here we go. But here the
to make West Coast music.
Didn't
and it was organic.
Didn't Third just say the reason why he stood out so much and he was a big fish in a small pond was because he brought that East Coast influence and it was different.
To me, it's my personal. He had an East Coast accent. You know what I'm saying? Which again, if you're talking about listening to music, what's going to make you stand out is, and we're talking about like we're from LA, we're going to talk like, you know, more slang, whatever. We're going to talk a little bit more different. You know what I'm saying? He came out definitely talking East Coast, but as you can see, the time that he spent here, you know what I'm saying? Even in that video that you see, I give all my. If you ever been around an Oakland jigger, he was moving like an Oakland jigger because again, he spent time with people from Oakland, from Richmond, from Marin, which is the jungles. And like I said, from Tupacalypse now, I throw peace to the Bay. Because from the jungle to Oaktown, they're backing me up all the way.
Right.
I mean, he has claimed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Baltimore did not give him a street.
Look,
he gives love to Baltimore. As a matter of fact, he owes his acting career to Baltimore because he went to the Baltimore School for the Arts. But if you're talking about hip hop, there's two places where he gets credit for it. It's going to be New York and it's going to be Cali. You know what I'm saying? It's period, point blank. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, had he not, when it came out to the West, there would be no thug life.
But that goes for a lot of people's careers, because that's just where.
No. Because people move here and they come out here to record. He didn't come out here to record. You're missing the point. He came out here to live. He went to high school. What I'm saying, he went to Talapine High School in Marin City. You know what I'm saying? No, Marin County. He went to school here, just like Corrupt. Corrupt was born in Philly. He moved out here. But, you know what I'm saying? He's been here since his late teens. Same
Corrupt is an LA rapper. That is a great point.
Hands down. Ice-T. Ice-T is called one of the innovators. He's one of the founders of West Coast gangster rap. He was born in Jersey, but his family had to move him out here to LA. He lived out here with his family, and he got immersed into Rolling 60 culture, into pimp culture, into the gang culture. So Ice-T, you know what I'm saying? The two people that were the bridge from the East Coast to make people come from the East Coast feel safe was Tupac and Ice-T. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I told you, Tupac's been around since before Straight Outta Compton.
Right.
So he was here when Straight Outta Compton. He got to watch Straight Outta. Well, wait, you like I said, he was here when Straight Outta Compton was being made. He didn't just come out to California when he got signed by Suge Knight.
I'm not saying he was an influence. I'm not saying he didn't love them and they didn't love him. I'm not saying he didn't feel like family. Like I said, I feel like
period point blank, he never claimed to be an East Coast rapper. So that's just hands down. No one else gave him an East Coast title. Nobody. The Source, the XXL magazine, the rappers from New York, nobody ever called him an East Coast rapper. He gave love to the East Coast, but he was not an East Coast rapper. Period point blank.
I agree to disagree.
No, it's facts. It's written in. Like I said, I can give you mad articles to prove my point. It's not even subjective at this point.
Let's just agree to disagree, because this is a lifelong.
No, Quez, because this is wrong. Because this is what's going to happen. See, this is equivalent to people taking history, rewriting it. You know, because we got people like the Adorations. So next thing you know there's going to be a young people like Adoration saying, "Hey, Michael Jackson was white."
Oh shit!
No, but right. No. This is a good one. This is a good one. Saying Michael Jackson was white, in my opinion. Now, hear me out all the way before you say something. It's saying he was a West Coast rapper. Michael Jackson was black in the beginning, right? He was black. Just because at the end of his life, he turned white color and long hair, we can't just act like all of a sudden he was never black. Tupac. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's just a bad analogy.
We're bald that you referred that to Tupac.
It's a bad analogy, but
Tupac left. But since you brought it up,
he left New York at 13.
Tupac left New York. No, he left the East Coast. We're talking about.
He left New York at 13.
Okay, he left the East Coast at 17. Am I right? Y'all
yes.
Gotta make sure
he left Baltimore.
Remember, I was born.
He had to move.
Died, so
he had to move.
Left. He moved at 17. Tupac passed at 25.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Right? Okay. 8 years. Now, that's a significant portion of his life because he didn't live very long. Right? So I respect that. But what I'm trying to explain is, for, let's say, 2/3 of his life, he was from the East Coast. Now, I'm not a real rapper, but as a wannabe rapper myself, I have been rapping since I was a kid. All right, we've all been rapping since you probably 2/3 have been rapping since you were a kid. Tupac learned the game, and like I said, I'm not even denying what he said. He went to LA, he had his mentors, he learned the game, he started putting out music, but that does not make him a West Coast rapper. And he
by his own definition, Adoration. I'm sorry, this is where you're going to get wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it becomes subjective to you, because everybody, even back when he was living, called him a West Coast rapper. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was Oaktown or LA, publications, news publications, The Source, which was a New York-based magazine, XXL, same thing. I even brought up the article, which I'm actually going to send to you. They did not call him an East Coast rapper. East Coast rappers never claimed him as an East Coast rapper. They claimed him as a West Coast rapper because this is where he came out of. He got his start with Digital Underground. Go ahead, Mickey Black.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say this is a part of the culture that she missed. Is
the fact that y'all, I was born the year Tupac was died. So
right. So you missed the whole piece of the culture.
No, but still.
Wait. Go ahead. You missed the whole East versus West rivalry, right? When it was East Coast versus West Coast, you missed all of that.
Hey, Mickey Black, I think I'm not sure if it's your Bluetooth or something's going on.
Yeah, it was making a lot of noise.
I think you got plugged into your car.
Yeah, so you missed the whole East Coast versus West Coast beef, right? You get to read about it.
Yeah, I know
you didn't get to experience it though. So this is as simple as I can put it. The main provocateurs of the East Coast versus West Coast rivalry were Biggie Smalls, Tupac Shakur.
It started way before that.
Tupac was on the West. Biggie Smalls was on the East. So to have a rivalry of East Coast versus West Coast, somebody would have to be considered West. Somebody would have to be considered. I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the argument. That's just what we lived through. Tupac has always been a West Coast rapper. We don't have any East Coast songs from Tupac.
No, we do.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about mainstream vocals that anybody is gonna bring up.
We do.
But
Temptation.
nobody really has.
Oh, wait. Mickey, you're kind of going back into the show. I'm not sure if you got your Bluetooth on.
My car was on.
Oh,
okay.
When you talk, you're clear.
Yeah, I was gonna say just pull the headphones, probably like make sure you got the ear on them.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
All right.
But there's a static like maybe.
All right. Yeah. I told you I'm not familiar with this. My bad.
That's all good.
But y'all can hear me clearly now?
Yeah.
Like one thing I want to say is now that I'm 52, right? And, Tupac died at 25. So as life goes on, things we evolve with our thinking, with our learning, things that when we learn certain things, we come to find out like, damn, it's not supposed to be like that. So it's like when we sitting here talking about this East versus West and Tupac was here and Tupac was that, that's no different from when I see black people over here, and I'm not going to mention these lineage groups or whatever, but it's like, nah, I'm Black American, or nah, I'm African, nah, I'm Black, I'm Jamaican, I'm this, I'm that, and you know what I'm saying? And this is what I mean about when we start talking about the message, we start arguing over the BS. You know what I'm saying? They got us. We're on one planet. We're on one planet, and we be arguing over landmass. You know what I'm saying? We be talking about like, no, I'm from here, like right now, I'm on the East Coast or I'm on the West Coast. I'm from down south. I'm from the Midwest. We on one planet. I can see if Tupac or anybody else came from Jupiter or Saturn or from outer space. Then you come here and then you start talking that shit. Then we got a problem. I mean, now we got a real issue. You know what I'm saying? But I engage in those kind of conversations. This is what I mean when Tupac was 23. Imagine enduring that. And then Tupac, because when I talk about me against the world, and when the brother said there was no New York song, actually, but you think about Stretch was a New York producer. Even, if you want to do semantics, Shock G is originally from New York. And when you listen to I Get Around, one of Tupac's biggest hits, it's sampled, he sampled Good Gangstar, a DJ Premier track. So I think Gangstar or DJ Premier probably got a little bit of money, I don't know, off that.
They did. People started sampling Roger. I forget who else, but yeah.
In that, and then on Me Against the World, you got a song called It Ain't Nothing Like the Old School. When he's giving, shouting out New York. But what the common goal with Tupac when he says in that song, like, yo, unite. When you talk about the thug life, it's not just for us to do that here. It was to be implemented all over this damn in this particular country.
Right.
As well as then once it goes abroad, you know what I mean? Hopefully it gets over there. We're trying to figure it out. Like I said, I study Nearly Fuller at this time. I done been under the teachings of Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, Dr. Ivan Sertima. Like it goes on. And Nearly Fuller. Damn, I hope I don't move. Let's forget my point. So we are supposed to be eliminating what white supremacy did to us, and this is part of it. Now it seems cool and it seems fun because it's hip hop and shit like that, but the message is not getting taught. And we could, like you said, be going back and forth, or let's agree to disagree, and you know what I mean. Whereas we're not seeing the bigger picture. They took over this entire fucking globe, this entire planet, doing business with every other race out here. I'm talking about these Yakuts. But then when you look at us, what are we doing? Where are we at? When you got Donald Trump and all these other people, you got Tupac that was talking about Donald Trump before Donald Trump was Donald Trump what Donald Trump is today. He said, if you want to be like this, gimme, push. Or when Tupac talking about like, yo, we know there's food inside, so what I'm gonna do? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting. It was messages and what he was saying. When at one point in time, he wasn't talking he was bigging up LA or the Bay Area because Rakim stated in the 1986 song called I Got Soul, it ain't where you from, it's where you at. So that's why Tupac, that's why many of us represent what we represent. And a lot of us forget that Rakim said it ain't where you from, it's where you at. And that's just a hip hop statement that's that's been overlooked. Now that's why I say, yo, when we start focusing on the message, it's like we unplayed. Nearly Fuller, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna pass the mic to you. Nearly Fuller said black people. Now you might not agree with it, but he died in February 5th of this year at age 95. So doing this about a code, how black people must conduct themselves. So he was like, black people need to ignore each other like the SARS, like they got COVID, because we are filled with poison and toxic. And we're like, if you're not speaking on anything constructive, we're going to be arguing with each other. And when we start arguing with each other, it's going to get violent. And if it gets violent, it could turn into some other shit. And then if it turns into some other shit, we going into the white man's jail. So he was basically he was like, we have to be constructive. Now, I'm not trying to ruin your show or ruin anything. I'm just saying, this is what Pac would have won. So that's what I mean. And the brother, what's the brother right here earlier he had said something about Rakim and stuff like that, and he said it's about practice or something. But what I wanted to interject was, I feel like nowadays this is about logic. People got to be logical. You know what I mean? When you talk about a 23-year-old Tupac and how we started talking this Eastern versus West shit, minus what Tim Dog did back in 1990 with the song "Fuck Compton," that shit started
kind of earlier than that.
Or earlier than that. That should have never happened because I didn't know shit about LA. I didn't know shit about the West Coast until I seen a movie called Boys in Hood. Boys in the Hood by John Singleton. But you know who helped put that movie out? White people did. You know what I mean? They put out the movie Colors. They put out all this movie. There's always a hidden agenda and there's propaganda within there. And we got to look beyond that type of shit because they know once we unite, it's gonna be a fucking problem. So let's keep it distracted. Let's make a movie about colors with Ice-T and all that shit that look like we glorifying this, that, and the third. But let's put it out there. You had this movie called with the brother that played Nat Turner, but it was another movie, not The Birth of a Nation, not that one, but I think it was called American Skin. And his son was killed by a cop, and he took a whole police. He took the whole police squad hostage and shit like that. But by the end of the movie, I'm sitting here. I said, I know how white people act. I said, I know how they think. They showing us all the time. Nearly Fuller says they control 9 areas of white supremacy. That's entertainment, that's war, that's sports, that's sex, that's religion, that's economics, that's education, the medical field, etc. So I'm looking at this movie and I'm like, I know it's about to happen at the end of this movie. They're going to end up popping this wig. Sorry for that. Because they had to show you, like, don't ever go against us. So what? I killed your son. Don't ever. And just like the brother, what's his name? Rob Hinton, the brother that just ran over that killed
Rodney Hinton.
And I'm not saying applauding him, but it's just like, yo, he did what he had to do. It's like an eye for an eye. Like, if we really got that type of shit, that's what Pac was talking about. It's more of us than it is of them. He said it in that. What song was that? He wasn't even rapping, but he was like, unite. He made it in the song. I see bloods.
I forget which one it was. You're right.
It was off the Are You Still Down album. But he also was like, I see bloods and Crips running up the hill, looking for a better way.
That's Machiavelli crazy.
Crazy
with Badass.
Yeah, with Badass. No, the other song I was referring to was off the Are You Still Down when he talked about you.
I know what you're talking about.
when this is what I mean, when you study the lyricism, you hear the message of what I see Bloods and Crips running up the hill. Look, my brother, it's time to build.
It's time to build because even
build. Keyword right there. The key word right there. The 3 key words. It's time to build.
Right.
It's time to build. When you go busting your hand against a stone wall. Look at you. That's what the white man wants you to do. Look,
exactly. That's white man's world. Hey,
white
real
man.
Quick. We still got
this 20 seconds. I swear to God, that right there. When you said that title, "White Man's World," that's what I've been talking about since we came on. That's what Tupac is be talking about. So we can have hip hop discussions and shit, but when that shit start getting crazy, we're getting off. The common goal is to eliminate the white man's world and create ours.
No doubt. No doubt. I gotta put you on mute only because I beat back into the show. But so this is it's almost like talking about like your favorite sports team. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely deep like that. But as far as what we're just debating right here, it's friendly banter. I love adoration. I know she's Baltimore, saying a lot of people don't know that. But it's just friendly debate, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm educating too, because I don't want shit to be rewritten. But just like you said, Bloods and Crips running up the hill looking for a better way. My brother and his sisters, it's time to build because even thug niggas pray. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's Tupac. But Bloods and Crips was in LA. Just putting that out there. So I was saying you know what I'm saying? We still got
I'm gonna come on.
we still got this Tupac, you know what I'm saying? But again, he took
back at home. From Thailand.
But hold up, real quick. Jess said Nikki Black is speaking. What Tupac did in the short amount of time of his hip hop career equals GOAT, greatest of all time. Everything he went through and was still able to create music, play roles, movies, and kept his cool is phenomenal. I mean, he had a short lifespan of 25. You know what I'm saying? To go from the East Coast to the West Coast and to make some of them himself, to sit there and take care of his family. Because had it not would have been for Shock G, which Nikki Black spoke it. He was originally from New York, went to Florida, and it came out because he knew the funk, the essence of music was in Oakland. He came out to the Bay. If it wasn't for Digital Underground, we would have no Tupac, or we wouldn't have the Tupac that we know. So with that being said, I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? We almost lost Pac to Atlanta because had he not would have got on musically, he would have went to Atlanta to be a new African Panther, because that was his other passion, was us as a people, as Black folks. But even in his music, he gave a little bit to everybody. He was really versatile. He spoke to the thugs. He spoke to the have-nots. He spoke to the Blacks. He spoke to everybody. You know what I'm saying? To essentially unite. This is what Nikki Black was saying. He had so much music, so much positivity. The first brother that actually put positivity into Black women. Keep your head up. Brenda's got a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like even Dear Mama. You know what I'm saying? So he put vulnerability into records, and that's what makes Tupac the GOAT.
And I should also note that around the world, he's goated. People love this man.
Very
people from different cultures. And I'm like, how do you even know him? They dress
the music is timeless
today.
Shout out to my homeboy Johnny J. I knew him. He produced a lot of Tupac's records. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, man, Tupac is the GOAT. So, I'm not mad if people want to put him on the LA list. Salute. If they don't, then I get it too. But he definitely belongs on that West Coast Mount Rushmore for what he did. We ran out of time. This was a good one, but it was a great one. You know what I'm saying? I still had even more clips to play as far as like Tupac. But The Game basically came out, and this is why this all started, because The Game was pissed off. Tupac was not on that LA rappers list. And so, what I'm saying, The Game was actually created his own list. And so, real quick, for the folks that are actually from, California, or even like we got some folks from, we want to see if you guys agree with this list, and this is what Game put out.
So The Game just dropped his top 50 LA rappers, and a lot of people are talking about the top 50, and is he out of his mind? And the reason why I say that is because is Game really at number 5? Let's really talk about it. K. Dot at number 4. He could be top 3. They had Tupac at number 1, which obviously people are going to say that. But YG over Ras Kass. Ras Kass was at 43. Then you have Doja Cat at 50. Doja Cat would probably be top 10, considering the fact that she's a female. Maybe there was a little bias there. I'm just saying, Doja got some flow. Do you believe that this list is accurate? I haven't had rapper Capone in there. Shout out to Capone. I seen that Apoyo Loco. He was on the list. Everyone is subjective to how they feel. As always, thanks for tuning in. It's your boy, June Leto. This video is sponsored by Project 50, a nonprofit organization in Ventura County servicing the Black community in child support, court appearances, probation, job services, as well as young adult counseling.
All right, so you know what I'm saying, the game was pissed. So with folks being hip hop heads, whatever, do you guys agree with Game's list? Was he right to be mad?
He put himself at.
Yeah,
So the top
I don't think the Game was mad about Tupac not being on the list. I think the Game was more upset that he was number 11. You know what I'm saying? I think
he was pissed that Tupac wasn't on it. No, because one of the first things he said first, you say, if you're not going to put Tupac on there, then I love him, but Ice-T shouldn't be on there because technically he's not from LA and such and so forth. So he was saying Tupac needs to be up on it. That was his first point. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well,
his last point was that any of the rappers that came after him, like within the top 10, he said, I eat up. So he's like, I need to be in that top 10.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
so we'll just for time's
I think
sake,
he's definitely top 10. You know.
So for time's sake, the top LA rappers according to Game: number 1, Tupac; number 2, Snoop; 3, Ice Cube; 4, Kendrick Lamar; 5, he put himself to Game. You say he's top 5. 6 is Corrupt, which again, Corrupt is technically born in Philly. 7, DJ Quick. 8, Dr. Dre. 9, Eazy-E. 10, Exhibit. And then he has Nipsey as number 11.
Some of these people I don't know, but Ice Cube over Kendrick.
We always forget how young you are, Adoration. I'm sorry.
I was born the year Tupac died, y'all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So just a little backdrop. Rakim. Who else was Rakim? Public Enemy, which is Chuck D. Forget somebody else. LL Cool J. Ice Cube. These were influences of Tupac. But again, like I said, Tupac was around during the making of Straight Outta Compton. So he knew Ice Cube even back then. But Ice Cube, before Tupac, was the man out here on the West Coast.
I don't know.
I'm coming straight out of Compton.
I think it's a solid list, man. I'm glad he put DJ Quick and Corrupt in the top 10 because a lot of people leave them out of there, especially DJ Quick. I think a lot of people leave DJ Quick out of the top 10 on the West Coast, period. You know what I'm saying? DJ Quick is a musical genius. I mean, I don't really, it's his list, but I don't really see too much wrong with it. That other dude talking about Doja Cat need to be in the top 10. I don't know what he was smoking. You know what I'm saying? Doja Cat would never be in my top 10 of any list. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Just saying.
Everybody got their own list, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got their
Nikki
own.
Black, are you familiar with any of these West Coast rappers?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all of them. The ones I would move. That's Dr. Drake under Quick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would remove him. Eazy-E, I would remove. MC Ren, MCA, King T. King T need to be higher.
Yeah.
J Rock definitely needs to be higher. Warren G needs to be a little bit higher. The reason why I Eazy-E and Dre because they wasn't rappers.
For real.
Like, if you ain't write your own shit, like you can't get on that list.
Say it again, sir. Say it again, sir. I can agree with that.
And
I agree, and I disagree at the same time because as an MC, I get it. You know, say if you don't write, you shouldn't be on that list. I gotta mute you real quick. But yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I mean, a lot of this shit wouldn't be possible without Easy. You know what I'm saying? So, Easy, as far as his voice, was a distinctive character. As far as like his voice, it was unique. And same thing even with Dr. Dre. So even when it came to rapping, because he was a producer. But if we're talking about, I don't know. If we're talking about MCs, then they definitely don't need to be on here. But rappers, yeah. But another cold fact is half these cats I either open up for or I've seen. You know what I'm saying? So I can tell you Ice Cube definitely needs to be top 3.
Hey Rob, I agree with you with Spice One. I don't know. I'm trying to think she'd be in the top 10, but he definitely should be on this list.
I think he might be because whoa. Spice One is not an LA rapper. He is a Bay Area rapper. So no, he's not.
Oh well, yeah, true that. Yeah.
But I disagree with Rob because No Game is definitely top 10. Because the boy can get busy.
Yeah, he's definitely in the top 10. I would put Game in the top 10. Very influential on the West. He definitely. Well, never mind. I see Sugar Free. I'm gonna say he definitely got it. What is this? The top 25 that you got up here?
Yeah, it's like top 25. I didn't get it as clear, but he did like a whole top 100, and he gave a lot of people love. He was just showing people love. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, I don't know. Doja Cat would rank. She's good as an artist, but as far as like Yo-Yo, saying Lady of Rage, who again, Lady of Rage is from the East Coast. She's from Virginia, but again, she got her start with Death Row. You know what I mean? So technically, saying, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't really necessarily put her up there like that, but like Nikki was saying, like King T needs to definitely be higher because Biggie actually pulled from King T too. He pulled from King T and Big Daddy Kane. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't really know that a lot of people got their style from King T. MC Ren, after Cube left NWA, MC Ren and the DOC took over a lot of the writing for NWA. Sugar Free, he has his own vernacular, saying like he's a dope performer even still to this day. I don't know, saying it's a good list. I can rock with it, but it's just like this is where I gotta go into what Nikki was talking about. I'm sorry, my brother. But it goes into the fact that I like what Game did, whether you like it or not. It's subjective, yes, true. But he took away the power from Complex, and he took back and he made his own. He is an LA rapper who sat there and made his own list and gave back to his own and shown love to everybody who he thinks should be on there, as opposed to the clear folks who sat up there and made a list, saying and excluding people, not putting people here in X, Y, and Z. He took back that power, and this is what we have. So whether you like it or not, I respect what the Game did.
Right. I definitely prefer his list. Well, when we talked about it earlier this week, I kind of said the same thing. Like, man, who keep making these damn lists? Like,
right.
This shit is annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are these people making this list? Like, every year, it seemed like every year or every couple months, they come out with a stupid ass list. And nobody
the world's
asked
top 10 hottest people, and it's like,
yeah, and it's always wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be cool if they got it right. You know what I mean? Majority, but it's always wrong. They always do some. And I think it's all to Nikki's point. It's to, you know what I'm saying, cause dissension and get us to arguing and fussing about shit that's irrelevant. You know what I mean? Because these lists don't make sense at all.
Can I make one more? Is my mic is still disturbing y'all?
It's just when you're not talking, it's a little static.
When we talk, it leads into the show. When you talk, it's clear. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get off. We're actually getting ready to close down shop in maybe 4 minutes. So I'm gonna let you get off your last point, and then we're gonna go ahead and end the show.
Yeah, that's just like I hope I didn't forget my point. But when you were saying about the list, I just want to say this one more time because Neely Fuller is an ancestor right now. Sorry, I keep bringing his name up, but Neely Fuller said white people know us better than we know ourselves. So they know what type of things to say. They know what to do to get us fired up, and they just sit back and just watch. So that this is deliberate. Like, when you know about the Karens that you see, like they know the kind of words to spark us up. It's entertainment for them. It's sickening. So even though this is just a top 20 hip hop list from Complex or whoever, we have Rolling Stone, when the shit that they do that shit deliberately, bro. You know what I mean? They do that shit deliberately it's just in their nature at this time. It's in their bloodstream, bro. And that's why I be like, so you're right. I'm glad The Game decided to make his own list. I don't like the fact that he called it, if you're gonna you spoke about Spice One as a Bay Area, you know what I mean? But we spoke, we was practically talking about how so much Tupac is influenced by the Bay. And if that's the case, Pac shouldn't even be on that list. Otherwise, Spice One should be on that list. Ray Love probably should be on that list. Richie Rich should be on that list. You know what I mean? What's the other brother name? Is it Mac Mall?
Mac Mall, yeah.
Probably
those are all technically Bay Area. They didn't come down to LA like Pac did. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like that's just then. Otherwise, just keep it West Coast, man. Like just
true. Very true.
Keep it West Coast, man.
Keep it West Coast. That should be a shirt. All right, y'all. Real quick, get your last points off. We got like 3 minutes. I gotta close down. I don't want to. Hey, well, real quick, Gaza. I gotta meet you, Nikki. But much love. Scarface is slept on. Been bumping all day. Love from Scotland. Hey, whoa. Thank you. Love from Scotland. But Scarface, he's from Houston. He's definitely an innovator down south. But that's another influence of Tupac is actually Scarface.
Yeah.
But Spice One is really a really good top 10. Expensive. Yes, he can. That was one of Tupac's boys too.
Spice One.
But yeah, but real quick, go ahead and get off before we sign off.
Shoot, it was a dope conversation, and I still stand on the side of West. Tupac is from the West, and pay attention to the message, as our brother Nikki said. Appreciate Nikki showing up today, man, on the invite, brother. It's a pleasure having you on and getting some of your tutelage. And we appreciate you.
We'll have you back, brother.
Yeah, we definitely got
Adoration, get off real quick.
No. Just same. I enjoy the show. Of course, he's not from the West, but
he wasn't born in the West.
We know that.
You know what? I love you, Adoration, but goodbye.
Damn.
She gets nerve. I love her though.
Don't worry, Adoration, I got you.
We love you. Hey, Nikki Black, like I said, man, you're a contributor. Thank you for dropping your 3 cents. You're welcome here anytime. Like I said, man, we'll chop it up. I got your email, brother. Real quick.
Drop his YouTube channel again.
Drop your YouTube channel. It's Tupac Was Lyrical channel on YouTube, right? Okay.
Tupac Was
Lyrical channel on YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe. Like I say, he's family here. Much love from Scotland. Tune in, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. We'll be here next Friday. We owe you guys an after party. I'm sorry, I got to end this. This took up way too much time, but it was all love and fun. We love you. Thank you to YouTube, Facebook. We will see you next time.